everyone, welcome back. Well, we're starting out down by the ocean today, and I'm out collecting rocks, and I'm looking for a certain kind of rock here, long and flat ones that'll look good on the rims of my pots. So obviously I've got plenty to choose from. One of the great things about living here is the rock hounding is really good. So we'll head up to the shop and I'll show you what I'm doing with them. So this is the epoxy that I'm using with them. It's been a really good product. So here's a pot that I fixed last night. This one froze and completely cracked in the winter, and also made a bunch of little fissure cracks around it. So epoxying those rocks on the top of it spans those cracks, and I think makes it a lot stronger, and should get a lot more time out of that pot. I hate to just throw them away when there's such a need for a training pot. So here's one that cracked in the bisque on me, and I'm really happy with the way this one came out. So you can see this one cracked in the two different places. This pot for a long time trying to figure out what to do with it, and this was the one that gave me the idea to epoxy the rocks onto it, and it's worked out really nice. We're going to pot this Chapelera into it here in a little bit. First, I want to give you an update on the giant sequoias. So this pot also developed a little crack on the end there where I epoxied those rocks onto it. So I'm really happy with these trees. The trunks have fattened really nice on them, and they haven't bolted. They've just been growing roots, and now they're starting to grow. And they're all doing really nice. So putting the rocks on is definitely going to be my plan for cracks in all my pots. It gets the cracks out of sight, out of mind. So here's two of the cuttings from the sequoia trees that are doing really well. I have a bunch of them now, and it's really exciting to be able to propagate that tree. So here's our Chapelera, and some of my plants have done well in the basement, and some have not really liked it much. And this being a tropical tree, I was surprised how well they did in the basement. They wintered over really nice. Really didn't have any problem with the basement. Other things like my Ficus benjaminas, they were really hard in the basement. I lost quite a few of those. But this tree, we were really lucky to get this tree. We bought these trees at a 75% off sale here in the fall when they were trying to get rid of them. And I'm pretty sure it originally came from Tropical Expressions in Toronto. And they probably developed this tree for a good 5 years before it made its way to Nova Scotia, because it was definitely made from a cutting, and they're pretty slow growing, and this one has a beautiful trunk now, and that's been a really nice tree. You can see it really wasn't all that root bound. So they've been wonderful trees to keep in pots. So this one had a fern growing there on the end of it. I'm not sure where that came from. Ferns have a way of finding their way into things. But I do eventually get it out of there in a minute here. There you go. Put that in its own pot. So I'm not going to trim any roots on this. It wasn't that root bound, and they'll all fit in the pot, so it'll be going in pretty much like that. It's going to be really nice to get a plant into that pot. I've been looking at that pot for a good 4 or 5 months, wondering what to do with it. And the rocks have made it really nice. It's exciting to figure out what to do with something like that. It's definitely going to be my plan for them. Anyone that gets into bonsai is going to be dealing with cracks in pots eventually. It's all just part of the experience. So I don't even need to trim anything on this tree. It just has a wonderful shape. It's just a really good one. They've done really good in the soil mix I'm using, the tree compost and the peat moss and the perlite. It's made them really happy. They're definitely a dwarf variety Chapelera. Much better for bonsai than a full-size Chapelera. Full-size one they're hard to control in pots. But these have done really, really nice in the pots. And they've gone really well from cuttings. I have a lot of them now from cuttings. I was really lucky to find this plant here. So that's that one pretty well situated. Give it a good drink. They respond really well to miracle growth, like most plants. Keeps them really happy. This is a light mix of miracle grow that I'm spraying on it. So let's have a look at it. So nice to see a plant in this pot after wondering what to do with it for so long. The rocks have really worked out. It's almost like I meant to do that. That's always a good thing. So there you go. Hope that gives you some good ideas how to fix cracks in your pots. Hope everyone's having a great bonsai day. I'll see you next time on Bonsai by the Sea.